Nemo Tensor Alpine 4-season sleeping pad. That's what we're going to talk about today, and just sleeping pads in general. We're going to do a comparison of this pad, a 4-season brand new offering from Nemo that I'm so excited to share with you guys. Showed up on my doorstep yesterday, and I really just cannot wait to do this comparison that I'm about to do here on this video, because this is a pad that once I saw it, I was like, that's a really bold claim. Let me explain here for a second. Nemo released brand new pads with some updates and things to their previous pads, and they added the Alpine to their Tensor line, which has 3 layers of that metallic mylar type of insulation film on the inside of it, and they are giving this a rating of negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit with a comfort rating of negative 10. Now let's compare that real quick to the pad that, if you follow the channel, you are very familiar with, Agnes Axle Air Insulated, that has a temperature rating of 32 degrees. This pad, I really wanted it to be a high quality, good 3-season, shoulder season, even a potential 4-season pad. It did not deliver. It absolutely did not deliver in that regard. Yes, it is one of the most comfortable pads I have ever slept on. However, I really am starting to do a lot more winter camping, and I'm doing more backpacking in the straight up cold months of the year. And so getting a really high quality 4-season pad is something that I've been looking at. The claims with this new pad have me so excited to see if it can actually deliver. So what we're gonna do today is a comparison of this pad against the EXPED SynMat UL and then the Big Agnes Axle Air. The weight on this, 24 ounces is what they say on their website. On my scale here at home, with just the strap, no stuff sack, no included pump sack, I get just over 23 ounces. With the stuff sack, repair kit, and the included pump sack, which we'll talk about here in a second, I get just over 25 ounces. So there are some variances there. However, that gives you kind of an idea of what we're looking at. It does come in 2 different sizes. There is a mummy cut that is 20 inches wide by 72 inches long. This is the long wide version at 25 inches and 76 inches long. So pretty similar to my Axle Air, just this is a longer pad than I have on my axle. Now what's interesting about this is the pump sack, which is a new thing from Nemo, I guess. This is included in the pad when you purchase it, which is really cool. And this pump sack works really well. It's better than the schnozzle from EXPED, which I have for my SynMat, and it's way better than the pump house from Big Agnes. Okay, let's do this. The way that this comparison is going to work is I want to give you some metrics of how I am doing this comparison. What I have got is the pad sitting on top of a ground sheet, on top of snow, on top of concrete. Now I've got an ambient temperature outside of 43 degrees. On the snow itself, it's down into the low 30s, and so that comparison is going to mix very well with the other 2 pads that I have, with the negative 20 degree rating on the Tensor Alpine, the 32 degree rating on the Big Agnes Axle Air Insulated, and the EXPED SynMat UL with a R value roughly around 3.2, which is equivalent to being comfortable down to about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, not an apples to apples comparison. However, I am going to lay on the pad for 5 minutes once I get into the quilt and I cover up over my shoulders. I'm going to talk about how I feel cold air, or where I don't feel cold air, what the experience is like during that 5-minute period, and then we'll talk about it. I'm actually going to set the timer for 6 minutes to allow me time to get situated in the bag and make it a little bit more equal of a comparison that way. Just as a note, each pad has been blown up to its highest capacity possible so that it is going to be able to reflect the maximum amount of body heat back to me through this test. So what I am using as a bag is the Thermodown 30-degree quilt from Perea Outdoor Products. It'll be the same quilt I use for each. I'm not going to change anything on it, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, and we're going to jump into the bag. We're going to lay here for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and we'll talk about it as I'm laying here about how things go. So I'm going to tuck everything up underneath me so that I eliminate as many draft points as possible, mostly just under my shoulders. And I can definitely feel my back against the pad. I don't have the sleeping bag underneath my back in any way, so it is my back, my t-shirt right against the pad. Now let's just enjoy this, see how this goes. It's warm. I don't feel like cold against my back, and that's a positive. But it's definitely, I don't feel heat being like drawn back up into the sleeping bag or into the quilt. So that's something to take note of. And yeah, I'm not cold. I'm definitely not cold. But I also don't feel the heat coming back into the bag. So I feel like there is a tad bit of heat loss, but it's doing a decent job. And about what I expected from this pad. Timer's going off. So with that said, I'm just in a t-shirt, and over that short period of time, I didn't feel a lot of cold coming through, but I didn't feel a lot of warmth either. So I wasn't cold, but definitely could be a warmer pad. So let's move on to the Axle Air. Man, it's a beautiful day. Sun's out. All right. Axle Air, insulated, 32-degree rating. Everything all situated here. Make sure I'm on the pad. Again, my back is totally against the pad fabric. I don't have any of the sleeping bag underneath me. I do have it underneath my arms. But as far as like my head and my back are concerned, that is the only thing that is directly onto the pad, as well as my butt. So let's lay here and see how this goes. Now laying here, this pad definitely is colder than the EXPED. And I'm feeling cold air against my back, against my butt. Now keep in mind that this pad has one layer of the Primaloft silver insulation, and with that it's supposed to be able to reflect that body heat back. Now again, the temperature of the snow on top of the concrete is probably in the mid-30s, low 30s, could even be in the high 20s. It's really hard for me to say, but I'm in the shade. It's definitely cold, and on the pad, straight against my back, against my t-shirt, I am feeling cold. It is not reflecting heat back. It is definitely cold, and if I was to sleep like this for an entire night, I would not enjoy myself. So I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how the Tensor does compared to this. All right, timer's going off. Whew. Okay, so analysis of the Axle Air is that when I'm not laying on snow, this thing is going to be way better because it just is not reflecting that heat back, and I feel like there's a lot of conduction that's happening straight from the snow. So this pad is not doing the trick for me in this test. The EXPED SynMat UL is a warmer pad than this Big Agnes Axle Air, at least in this comparison. So this is my first time laying on this pad outside. I've obviously laid on it in my front room, But first time outside with it, and I'm excited to see how this goes. So. Now this is pretty bizarre feeling because my butt on the axle was starting to feel pretty cold, and I can feel my butt getting warm. Man, this is really cool. What I'm experiencing right now is actually feeling my body heat radiating inside of the bag. I can feel my back warming up. I can feel my body heat coming back off of the pad, and that's a really kind of interesting sensation because I've not slept on a pad or laid on a pad with this temperature rating ever in terms of a backpacking sleeping pad. So this is really cool, and it definitely is the warmest pad of the three. That is to be expected given the comparison. However, like in the very short period of time of laying in here, this is a clear winner in just the experience, and wow, like Nemo has definitely done a good job of creating something that is going to be very warm, reflects good body heat, and I'm excited about it. All right, timer's going off. Guys, wow. That's nuts. Like, put my hand on the pad right here, I can feel heat. That's crazy. All right, guys, let's finish this video and just quickly talk about that experience with that comparison of the Nemo Tensor Alpine. What a cool pad. And that short amount of time laying in it, it is definitely going to be a great pad for shoulder season, winter use, so much so that like I'm not even consider those pads probably for anything that is in the fall, early spring, just because this is going to guarantee me to be a warm sleeper, and I'm really excited about that because I have been struggling to sleep warm for the past like year and a half on my backpacking trips, and so I'm psyched to finally have a pad. The added weight to this is not an issue for me because I know that I'm going to sleep that much better, and I'm excited about it. So the 3 layers of insulation in here, the baffle system, just all of like how small it compacts down when rolled up. This is going to be a cool pad. That is my first impressions, guys, of the Nemo Tensor Alpine sleeping pad for backpacking. I'm psyched about it. It definitely probably is a little bit overkill for a lot of the situations that I'll find myself in. But again, I'm excited about it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Hit that little notification bell to get notifications when I post new videos. And as always, guys, have an awesome day. We'll catch you on the next video. See ya.